Very good afternoon to you. The time is now 12:30 on the 18th of December on a very beautiful sunny day here across central Scotland. Temperature overnight dropped down to minus 5.2 here at the house. So it was a fairly chilly night. Actually, it was a tie for the coldest of the season so far, but really folks, it's a far cry from last December, and of course it's very difficult to compare to any December in the past with last year. The reason being is it was basically the coldest in 100 years for the UK. So it's a very difficult benchmark to compare with because it was such a severely cold, snowy month. But in all honesty, folks, the pattern has actually been quite chilly over the past the past couple of weeks. Really, we've seen, despite the fact that we've seen an Atlantic-driven pattern of a more northwesterly direction as opposed to a mild southwesterly direction, we've seen some systems push through some pretty significant wind events, heavy rain events, and as well as that, folks, we've seen plenty of snow as well across northern parts of the UK as well as even parts of the south. So it has actually been a reasonably cool December. The problem is, of course, like I say, last December was so exceptional. Even this December probably feels mild and insignificant. Back in December of 2009, we've seen a fairly mild start to the month. In fact, the cold and snow never really arrived properly until around the 17th or 18th of December. So it's only up until about now that we've seen the cold and snow arrive during that month, and of course which followed was a pretty significantly cold winter. Of course, the coldest of the weather arrived after the new year, and we also seen significant cold and snow events during the months of February and March. And I think, to be honest with you, although I'm still of the belief that January will be the coldest month this year, and whatnot, but I do think as well that we are going to see something similar to 2009-10, where we're seeing repeat cold and snow events during the February and March period as well. But up until now, we've seen no blocking really, so that means to say the pattern has been progressive. The cold shots have pushed in and out, but like I've said, the cold and the snow, given the pattern, has actually been quite impressive, because here in Lennoxtown, I recall at least 3 events where we've seen snow on the ground for over a 24-hour period. Now, back during the winters of the late 90s and early 2000s, there was plenty of Decembers that had literally no snow or cold, yet we're seeing that this time around. This is the 3rd December in a row where we're seeing plenty of snow. And in fact, there was a period back in December of 2008 that saw about a 4 or 5 day period of cold and snow. Now, again, the cold wasn't anything significant. Now, let's have a look at the pattern for today. We've got a cold northwesterly flow coming due southeast from off Greenland. Of course, this air is getting modified as it crosses the relatively warm waters between Iceland and Scotland. And of course, that's the reason why we're seeing even some rain where the temperature might even be near